Hello everyone, and welcome back to the abyss of despair that is global migration policy. Today, we're going to delve into a topic that's as controversial as it is complex. Today, we're diving headfirst into a topic that's about as fun as a root canal performed by a badger with anger management issues. Countries deporting immigrants. Yes, you heard that right. We're talking about the harsh realities and the often heart-wrenching stories behind deportation policies. Now you might think, isn't immigration a good thing? Doesn't it bring new cultures, fresh perspectives and a vibrant mix of ideas to the table? Doesn't it bring new cultures and perspectives? Absolutely, in an ideal world, immigration would be celebrated for the diversity and richness it brings to society. And to that I say, sure, in a perfect world where politicians weren't actively using xenophobia as a political football. Unfortunately, the reality is far from perfect. Politicians often exploit fear and prejudice to gain support, turning immigrants into scapegoats for various societal issues. Sadly, that's not the world we live in. Instead, we find ourselves in a world where borders are heavily guarded and the fate of many hangs in the balance. So buckle up, Buttercup, because we're about to embark on a whirlwind tour of 10 countries that have decided the best way to solve their problems is to just yeet those problems into someone else's backyard. We'll explore the reasons behind these policies, the impact on the individuals involved, and the broader implications for global society. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe for more cheery content like this. Let's begin, shall we? Get ready for an eye-opening journey through the often harsh and unforgiving world of deportation policies. Russia, land of borscht, ballet, and forcibly relocating entire populations of people. Yes, you heard that right. This vast country, known for its rich cultural heritage and stunning landscapes, has a darker side that often goes unnoticed. You see, Russia's idea of immigration control is a bit like their foreign policy. Aggressive, unsubtle, and with a healthy disregard for international law. It's not just about border control, it's about exerting power and control over people's lives in the most forceful way possible. Since the whole invading Ukraine thing kicked off, Russia's been busy relocating Ukrainians from occupied territories to Russia. This isn't a voluntary move. It's a strategic maneuver to destabilize and control. Now, I'm not sure what your definition of relocation is, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't usually involve armed soldiers telling you to pack a bag and get on a bus. This is more like forced displacement, a tactic to break the spirit and resistance of the occupied population. These aren't hardened criminals or dangerous terrorists we're talking about here. These are ordinary people caught in the crossfire of geopolitical games. We're talking about families, children, grandmas who just want to bake pierogi in peace. These are people who have lived their entire lives in their homeland, now being uprooted and sent to a foreign land. But hey, who needs basic human decency when you can just bus your problems away, right? It's a grim reminder of how human rights can be trampled in the name of political strategy. Next up, we have Turkey, a country that's gone from being a beacon of hope for refugees to, well, not so much. Once celebrated for its open-door policy, Turkey is now closing that door, and it's making quite a noise. Remember when Turkey was hailed for taking in millions of Syrian refugees? It was a time when the world looked on with admiration, seeing Turkey as a sanctuary for those fleeing war and persecution. Yeah, those were the good old days. The days when hope was alive and the Turkish borders were a symbol of compassion and humanity. Now the welcome mat's been rolled up and replaced with a giant go-away sign. The shift in policy is stark and has left many in a state of despair. Turkey's been ramping up deportations, particularly targeting Syrians, Afghans, and anyone else who doesn't quite fit their idea of a good time. The once safe haven is now a place of uncertainty and fear for many. It's a bit like inviting someone to stay at your place because their house burned down, offering them a lifeline in their darkest hour, then kicking them out a few years later because you're tired of tripping over their shoes. The abrupt change in attitude is jarring and leaves many questioning the future. It's not a good look, Turkey. not a good look at all. The world is watching, and the message being sent is one of exclusion and rejection. What happened to the spirit of solidarity and support? As Turkey continues to tighten its borders, the international community is left to ponder the fate of those who once found refuge there. The story of Turkey and its refugees is a complex one, filled with hope, disappointment, and a search for a better tomorrow. India, the land of spices, spirituality, and deporting people based on religion. Look, I'm not saying India's immigration policy is discriminatory, but it does seem to disproportionately target certain groups, particularly Rohingya Muslims from Myanmar. Now, I'm not an expert on Indian law, but I'm pretty sure being a Muslim isn't a deportable offense. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a guy with a YouTube channel and a healthy skepticism of governments using religion as a justification for kicking people out. The United Kingdom, a country that's always prided itself on its stiff upper lip and even stiffer immigration policies. Remember Brexit? Of course you do. It was only the most self-inflicted political wound since, well, pick your historical analogy. Anyway, one of the big selling points of Brexit was taking back control of immigration. And by taking back control, they meant making it harder for anyone who doesn't look like they enjoy a good cuppa to set foot on British soil. So deportations are up, the Home Office is drowning in paperwork, and the only ones happy about it are the people who make those little Union Jack flags you wave at the Queen. France, the land of love, croissants, and deporting asylum seekers. Look, I get it, France has had its fair share of challenges with immigration, but deporting people who are fleeing war and persecution, that seems a bit harsh even for a country that invented the guillotine. It's like offering someone a croissant with one hand and a deportation notice with the other. It's confusing, it's messy, and it leaves a bad taste in your mouth. Italy, the land of pizza, pasta, and deporting migrants faster than you can say buongiorno. Italy's been on the front lines of the migrant crisis for years, but lately their patience seems to be wearing thinner than a slice of prosciutto. Deportations are up, tensions are high, and the only ones benefiting are the smugglers who are getting rich off of people's desperation. It's a tragic situation all around. Chapter 7. Australia, Island of Isolation. Australia, the land of sunshine, shrimp on the barbie, and some of the most draconian immigration policies this side of the outback. Australia's approach to immigration can be summed up in 2 words: nope and see ya. They've got offshore detention centres that would make a prison warden blush, and they're not afraid to use them. If you're lucky enough to get deported from Australia, consider yourself lucky you weren't sent to Nauru. Chapter 8. Germany, from Willkommenskultur to Abschiebekultur. Germany, the land of beer, bratwurst, and deporting people back to war zones. Look, I know Germany's been under a lot of pressure since they opened their doors to Syrian refugees. But deporting people back to places where their lives are in danger, that's not exactly what I'd call welcoming. It's like inviting someone into your house, then calling the cops on them because they forgot to take their shoes off. It's rude, it's unnecessary, and it makes you look like a real jerk. Chapter 9. Saudi Arabia, where human rights go to die. Saudi Arabia, the land of oil, opulence, and deporting migrant workers like they're changing their sheets. Look, I'm not saying Saudi Arabia has a great track record on human rights, but their treatment of migrant workers is particularly egregious. They lure them in with promises of good jobs and high pay, then treat them like modern-day slaves, and if they dare to complain, deportation. It's a brutal system that exploits the vulnerable and enriches the powerful. Chapter 10. United States, land of the free, to deport. And last, but certainly not least, we have the United States, the land of the free, the home of the brave, and the world leader in deportations. Look, I'm not saying America's immigration system is broken. I'm saying it was designed by a committee of toddlers who were high on sugar and xenophobia. We've got kids in cages, families being torn apart, and a president who thinks a wall is a viable solution to a complex problem. It's enough to make you want to renounce your citizenship and move to, well, pretty much anywhere else at this point. Outro the deportation dilemma. So there you have it, a whirlwind tour of 10 countries that are making it increasingly difficult to be an immigrant in the 21st century. It's a depressing state of affairs, but hey, at least we can take comfort in the fact that we're not alone in our misery. Remember to like, subscribe, and share this video with all your friends who are equally disillusioned with the state of the world. Until next time, stay informed, stay angry, and most importantly, stay human.